So we've been working on, we started working on the side body last week. We did a little review of the back bending, but we kind of started in onto this twisting motion to activate the sideways. So sideways can often be just kind of a dead space in the body. It can be kind of rigid. And so we're trying to learn how to activate it and also how to deactivate it, because every muscle in your body should be something that you can use on demand and you can let go and have completely relax. And many of us are sideways. We can't do either of those. We can't activate and we can't relax it. So it's just kind of very rigid. It can be a lot of rigidity in the side body. And you'll notice that if you try to bend over to the side or you try to turn deeply, that you can't access those motions because there's just a lot of um, immobility, basically. So that's what we've been working on. And we're going to start again today on the back. And so just go ahead when you're ready and lie down on your back and take your knees into your chest. And just rock a little bit side to side and kind of notice how your body is doing. And just check in with a little movement. We've all been sitting a lot, inside a lot.
I turn on the light.
Can you hear me, Nicole?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. And then next time your knees are over to the right, just pause there. And in fact, you can even just let your knees come all the way over toward the ground on the right. Yeah, just like that. And just kind of tune in your awareness to your belly. I want you to feel your belly skin traveling down towards the floor, but even inside of your belly, how things are moving down towards the floor. And there's kind of a sense of draping of the organs down towards the floor. So just noticing that. And then just go ahead and rock back onto your back and rock side to side a little bit. Hold on to your knees and move around. You can even rock front to back a little bit if you want to. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and let your knees come over to the left this time. And if you want, you could even just drape them all the way down onto the ground and just take your awareness down to your belly, down to the skin of your belly and how it's draping down towards the floor and into your internal organs, how all your organs are moving down towards the floor on the left side. And just noticing how that feels different from the other side. And then go ahead and come back onto your back, rock around a little bit, hold your knees. And this time, go ahead and roll all the way over onto the right again. And just notice that draping of the organs and the weight down towards the right. And this time, take your right belly skin and move it uphill to the left, like you're trying to turn your belly to the left, and it's going uphill against the spill of those organs. And just feel that uphill movement in the body. You're initiating a twist from your belly here in the opposite direction than your knees are going. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then rock around onto your back a little bit, and then go ahead and drop your knees over towards the left. And again, just notice your belly skin draping down towards the left. Notice your organs falling down towards the floor on the left side. And then just initiate a twist uphill with your belly. Your right belly is moving to the left this time, I think. No, left belly moving to the right, sorry. Lost hold of where you were. Yeah, left belly moving to the right. And you're going uphill against the fall of those organs. So you're just noticing that movement, the twisting of the belly, initiating a right turn. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then go ahead and rock back onto your back. And this time, go ahead and straighten your legs out directly in front of you. And just begin to windshield wiper your feet and go pretty fast. So your feet are going in and out, and just warming up that rotation. Keep your knees straight, but make your feet move. Keep your knees straight. Can you straighten out your knees? Yeah, straighten your legs completely flat on the floor. Your legs are completely flat on the floor. There you go. And then just windshield wipe your feet, just your feet. Yeah, here we go. For 3 and 2 and 1. And now we're isolating just the right foot. So just take the right foot and internally rotate it so it's pointing towards your left foot, and then externally rotate it so it's pointing away from your body. And then internally rotate that foot again, point it towards your left foot, and move your right knee with it. So your right knee is pointing inward as well. And then turn both your foot and your knee to the outside. And then internally rotate your right foot, your knee, and your hip, and see if you can find that moving all the way up the body. And then take your foot, knee, and hip and point it towards the outside. And then internally rotate it and externally rotate it. And internally rotate it, and foot, knee, hip, and your right ribs are all going to move towards the midline. And then externally rotate that foot, knee, hip, and rib, and internally rotate it and externally rotate it. And then internally rotate that foot, knee, rib, hip, and take your right shoulder slightly towards an internal rotation too. Turn your upper arm internally a little bit and just feel that all the way along the body, and then externally rotate. And then internally rotate foot, knee, rib, hip, and shoulder, and then externally rotate foot, knee, rib, hip, and shoulder. And just take that a couple of times and notice like the entire right side of your body is like a foam roller that's internally rotating and externally rotating all at once. Get that feeling all the way up and all the way down the body of the internal rotation and the external rotation. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then just let that go and just notice what that side of the body feels like that you were working on. And then we're going to go other side. So left foot points to right foot, and then on the inhalation it points towards the outside of the body, and then exhale the left toes towards the right foot and take the knee with it, turn the knee with it, and then externally rotate the left foot and the left knee. And then internally rotate, point your left toes towards your right foot, point your knee, and take your left hip towards the right. And then inhale and externally rotate all 3. And then inhale and internally rotate your left foot, knee, hip, and your rib. Take your rib with it. And then externally rotate foot, knee, hip, and rib. And then internally rotate all of those and externally rotate those. And then internally rotate your foot, knee, hip, rib, and take your left shoulder off the ground slightly and point it towards the midline. And then inhale and externally rotate your left foot, knee, hip, rib, and shoulder. And then internally rotate all the way up and down the body. And then externally rotate like your whole left side of your body is made up of a foam roller that's rolling in and rolling out all the way up and down the body. And just noticing how this side is different than the other side. Is this side more mobile or less mobile, more able to rotate or less able to rotate? For 3 and 2 and 1, and then let that go and just notice the body as you are internally rotating and externally rotating the whole side of the body at once. And then go ahead and internally rotate your right foot, knee, hip, rib, and shoulder towards the midline, and hold it there. And then swing your left belly uphill against that rotation, just like we were doing a minute ago. So you're meeting the right side, internally rotating like big foam roller, right side, and then the left side, just the belly. 3, 2, and 1, and then just let that go. And then internally rotate your left foot, knee, hip, rib, and shoulder towards the midline, like the whole left side of your body is a big foam roller turning towards the midline. And then just swing your right belly up against that midline twist so that they're coming to meet, and you feel that little argument for the midline. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then go ahead and release all that action. Take your knees into your chest and rock front to back until you've rocked yourself all the way up to standing at the front end of your mat, and just forward fold into a release of the base of the skull toward the top of the head. And allow the sitting bones to draw upward toward the ceiling and feel some elongation at the back leg. Bend and straighten one knee at a time and just feel that back line elongating up as you lift the sitting bones a little higher. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then inhale and look halfway up, and exhale and step your right foot back. And you can leave your right knee up. You can take it down on the ground. Try to go lightly in your fingers. You might even come up on your fingertips and just take a sitting bone circle. So if you got a lot out of releasing the hip last month, you can lift up the inner arch, the inner knee of your right side, and bump your left hip out to the left a little bit before you take your circle. Up to you. But you can make as much space there as you want. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then go the other direction. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then go ahead and take your palms down on your blocks. Step your left foot back and come into your Dandasana. Reach your hip crest forward and your heels back until your quads get tight. You can squeeze your knees and then lift up your dolphin fin. Raise the base of the skull up toward the ceiling and just feel the strength of your plank. And then go ahead and step your right foot forward. Bend your right knee. It's fine to take the left knee down on the ground. You might want to come to your fingertips. You might want to bump your hip out and just take a little sitting bone circle. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then go the other direction, please. For 3 and 2 and 1. Flat palms on the blocks. We're going to take our right foot back into Dandasana. Hip crest forward, heels back. Lift your dolphin fin, raise the base of the skull up. And then just locate your navel, draw your navel up toward the spine. Sew it up toward the spine and then pull it along the front edge of the spine, like you're pulling it up along the front edge of your rib cage. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then please step your left foot forward. Take an easy inhale. And as you exhale, slightly straighten your front leg, cat arch your back, let your head go. Lift and spread your left toes and fan your left foot side to side. Really push your heel into the ground as you draw your left hip slightly back. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then inhale down. And as you come down, let your left knee just come in front of your left ankle as much as it wants to. You can put your right knee on the ground if you feel like it. And just really draw your pelvis forward. You're just finding that dog tilt there in the low back. And then go ahead and exhale one more time. On cat arch the back, let your head go, and then inhale and swing the pelvis forward. Your left knee is just traveling really far in front of your left ankle as you let your pelvis draw forward, forward, forward. Take your shoulder blades down the back a little bit, take a little look up, and then exhale one more time. Straighten front leg, let the head go. And this time we're going to take the right knee down onto the mat and find out where your left sacrum is. See if you need to draw it back to get it in line with the right edge, and depress your left sitting bone a little bit so that your right glute, your right quad, your right hammy are all working to stabilize you. And then we're just going to go ahead and swing the arms and really move that swing from your belly. You're twisting. You're initiating the twist from that belly movement, right belly going left, left belly going right, really getting into the side waist action. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then take a little pause and just notice that left foam roller, the left side of your body, and see if you can internally rotate like we were doing on the floor. So without picking up your foot, make the action of internally rotating your left foot, your left knee, your left hip, your left rib, your left shoulder a little bit, and you're stabilizing the body with that internal rotation of the left side of the body. And then just with that working, with that on, swing your arms again and see if you can get movement in the side waist, even though that left side is holding a little bit stable. Maybe that caused a little bit more work in your right leg. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then pause with your right arm forward. Take your left foam roller is still internally rotating. Take your right belly to meet that left foam roller and just find that stability. Soften up your neck. It's not about your neck, it's about your core working and stabilizing here. And then we're going to swing a little bit more, and we're going to turn a little bit more. I still got my left foam roller on, but I'm bringing my right belly to meet it. I went a little deeper into my turn than I did last time. And I'm going to pick up my right hand, let the palm come forward, lift it high into the air, and then exhale it outside my left thigh. Draw my left arm back, open up and dive it into my right side waist. Now just notice where the work is in the body. Your left foam roller is internally rotating. Your right belly is coming to meet it. For 3 and 2 and 1. Now release the entire left side of the body. Swing it open like that foam roller on the left side of your body is externally rotating, and keep swinging your right belly to the left, and just see how much more you can turn now. For 3, soften up your neck, and 2 and 1. And then release. Take your hands down onto the blocks. Exhale, straightening front leg, cat arching back, letting head go, lift and spread left toes, fan that foot side to side, really push the heel into the ground. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then go ahead and step back and feel your plank for a moment. And then you're going to step your right foot forward. Take an easy inhale, and as you exhale, straighten your front leg, cat arch your back, let your head go. Lift and spread your right toes and fan your foot side to side. All right, I am going to just see if I can plug in my mic because I think I might lose it. For 3, 2 and 1. And then just to swing your hips forward, let your right knee track in front of your right ankle as much as it wants to, and just find a little bit of a dog tilt. Let your shoulder blades drop down the back a little bit as you find that dog tilt. And then go ahead and cat arch one more time. So straighten your front leg and let your head go. Lift and spread your toes. 3, 2 and 1. And then go ahead and swing your pelvis forward again and see if you can deepen down into that. I think I'm going to lose it and I can't figure out the plug. Into that dog tilt. So let your tail come back, let your knee come forward. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then exhale and cat arching. Lift and spread your right toes. Push your right heel into the ground as you pull your right hip back slightly, and fan your foot side to side. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then drop your left knee down and just tune into that right edge of your sacrum and draw it back, and then drop your right sitting bone down and see if you can feel your left leg turning on, left glute, left quad, left hammy working, and just go ahead and swing your arms. And initiate the twist, not from the arm swing, but from your belly. See how much you can move your belly side to side. Get your sideways turning you. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then just take a little pause. Don't pick up your foot, but internally rotate your right foot, your right knee, your right hip, your right rib, your right shoulder. So you've got the whole foam roller of your right side turning in towards the midline. And just see if that activates your left leg to work even harder. And then go ahead and begin swinging the arms again. Just notice what it's like to move from your belly here for 3 and 2 and 1. Pause with your left arm forward and reach your belly skin towards that right foam roller so it's coming to meet it just like we did on the ground. And then swing a little bit more and turn a little bit more. Now we're going to let our left palm come forward, rise up and drop to the outside of the right leg and open up the right arm behind and dive into the left side waist. Notice your right foam roller on. Notice your left belly reaching to meet the right. And then just totally let go of your right foam roller. Unroll, externally rotate the whole right side of your body while the left side of your belly is turning, turning, turning. Just see how much further, how much deeper you can get into that twist. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then go ahead and release out of there. Take your hands to your block, step your right foot back, find your plank position, hips press forward, heels back, quads are tight, knees are squeezing, lift up between the shoulder blades, pick up the base of the skull toward the ceiling for 3 and 2 and 1. And then go ahead and step your left foot forward, drop your right knee on the ground. And this time we're going to pick up that left foot and just let the heel come down with the leg straight. Push the left big toe mound forward, extend the sternum forward, fan your foot side to side for 3 and 2 and 1. And then we're going to walk our blocks over towards the right. Let the left block come in front of the right block. Reach the base of the rib cage forward, lowest left rib forward, and then breathe into the side ribs for 3 and 2 and 1. Firm right hand into block, unfurl left hand up to sky, reach into fingertips, go wide across the collarbones for 3 and 2 and 1. And then dive that left hand down, grab your block and take it underneath the right arm. Creep your left fingers forward a little bit, creeping, creeping, creeping. And then at the same time, reach your left shoulder blade toward the front of the mat and just extend along that back line. 3, 2, and 1. And then release and turn to the right. So you're just going to swing your right leg shank behind you. Your right knee is a little bit outside of your right hip. And then go ahead and take your block behind your head. Let's shoot it up to the sky first and see if we can lift the rib cage a little further away from the pelvis. Reach, 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 and extend. And then drop that block behind the head. Remember what we were doing before with smoothing the corset down. So we're trying not to lose the low ribs. Take an easy inhale. As you exhale, drop your left elbow towards your right knee. Draw right elbow back and breathe into the low right ribs, expanding the rib tips. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, center. Exhale, down. Breathe into the low left ribs. Draw the left elbow back. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, center. Exhale, left elbow drops, right elbow draws back. Breathe into the upper right ribs for 3 and 2 and 1. And inhale, center, and exhale, down. And then just breathe into the upper left ribs as you draw the left elbow back for 3 and 2 and 1. And then inhale your way up. Exhale, left elbow down. Turn and take a look at your left knee. Draw your right elbow towards the floor, and your right shoulder blade will follow that motion as you breathe into the bottom tip of your right shoulder blade. For 3, and 2, and 1. Now, where your right elbow is leaning towards the floor, take the whole foam roller on the right side of your body and see if you can internally rotate at the knee and the hip and the shoulder, and the elbow's already going that way. It's not about your neck. Soften up your neck. And then your left belly is swinging toward that. So your left belly is swinging towards the internal rotation on your whole right side of the body for 3, and 2, and 1. And then swing open your right elbow. Let go of your whole right foam roller. Turn your left belly even more and just see how far you can go in that rotation to the right for 3, and 2, and 1. And then release. Take your hands down, and we're going to come Prasarita Padottanasana. So you're going to straighten your right leg and forward fold. And just hang there for a moment. I'm going to look one more time for a extension cord. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then inhale and look halfway up. Come up a little higher on your fingertips. Flatten your back out. And then go ahead and exhale. Bend the knees. Sit your glutes way back. Sit way, way back. And just notice the extension from the top of the top of the pelvis to the bottom of the rib cage. And then from there, go ahead and straighten out your right leg. Push away from you. Push your right heel away from you and lengthen out that right leg. 3, 2, 1. And then go ahead and take an easy inhale. And as you exhale, push into the left heel and straighten out your left leg. Lengthen out on that entire side for 3, and 2, and 1. And then just go side to side, straightening one leg at a time. Not a very stretchy action, but a very muscular action. And just see how well you can go side to side, straightening one leg then the other, waxing off the feet and seeing how much you can get on of your glute and your hamstring, the back leg. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then go ahead and set your right hand down directly in front of you on the mat. And just take the entire right side of your body like a foam roller and internally rotate it without moving your foot. Turn your foot in, turn your knee in, turn your right hip in, turn your right rib towards the center, turn your right shoulder towards the midline a little bit. And then go ahead and open up the left side of your body. Lift the left arm up to the sky, just feeling the whole right foam roller internally rotating there for 3, and 2, and 1. And then let the left hand come down. Let your right side go, and we're going to internally rotate the left side. So turn your left foot to the right, your left knee, your left hip, your left rib, your left shoulder. You're just turning that foam roller all the way up the body, and then go ahead and extend the right hand up toward the ceiling for 3, and 2, and 1. And then release the right hand down, but don't let that left side go. Keep the left foot, knee, hip, rib, and shoulder churning toward the right, and then swing the right belly against it. So the right belly is arguing for the midline a little bit with that left foam roller. Extend your left arm back up into the sky, and then just let go of that whole left foam roller and really open up as the right belly swings all the way over towards the left. See how much deeper you can go into the twist, having turned on that side and then letting it go for 3 and 2 and 1. And then take your left hand back down. Take your right foot into internal rotation, followed by the knee, the hip, the rib, and the shoulder. And just hold it there. And then swing your left belly against it to meet that right foam roller at the midline. Extend your right arm up into the sky and feel that argument over the midline. And then just let your right foam roller go and open up. Swing that left belly all the way over to the right. Find out how deeply you can go into the twist. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then release and walk your blocks back over towards the front. And then go ahead and step your left foot back into the high plank. Hip crest come forward, heels go back, lift between the shoulder blades, lift the base of the skull, and just sew your navel up to your spine and draw that navel up along the front edge of the spine underneath the rib cage. For 3. If this is getting tiring for your shoulders, just put one knee down or both knees down, that's fine. And 2 and 1. And then go ahead and step your right foot forward, drop your left knee down, pick up your right heel and set it back down. Push your right big toe mound forward and let your sternum extend forward. Fan your right foot side to side. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then walk your blocks over towards the left. This time let your right block walk a little further than your left. Take the bottom edge of your rib cage and peel it forward so your sideways starts to expand. And then breathe into your right ribs. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then firm into your left block. Unfurl your right hand up to the sky. Go as wide as you can across the collarbones. Reach and extend. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then dive that hand down, get a hold of your block and walk it underneath your left arm. Flip your palm over and cinch your fingers towards the front edge of the block as you pull, or towards the back edge of the block as you pull your right shoulder blade towards the front edge of the mat. Just trying to open up the back line of that arm. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then release. And you're just going to swing your left leg shank behind you. So I'm going to turn all the way around so you can see me. And just let your left knee come to a little bit to the outside of your left hip, and your right foot is parallel to the edge of the mat. Take your block and shoot it up toward the ceiling. Reach and extend up, 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 up. Lifting your whole rib cage away from your pelvis. Try not to shear your ribs forward, but see if you can keep that corset on we were working last month. And then take this block that's behind the base of the skull. Take an easy inhale, and as you exhale, drop your right elbow down towards your left knee. Draw your left elbow back and breathe into your low left ribs. For 3 and 2 and 1. And inhale your way up and exhale down towards the left. Take your right elbow back, breathe into your low right ribs. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then inhale your way up, exhaling down, breathe into your upper left ribs. For 3, take your left elbow back, and 2 and 1. And inhale your way up, and exhale your left elbow down, breathe into your upper right ribs as you draw your right elbow back. For 3 and 2 and 1. Inhale up and exhale the right elbow down. This time turn to look at your right knee and draw your left elbow down towards the ground. Let your left shoulder blade wrap around the body towards the floor, following the action of that left elbow. And turn the entire left foam roller after it. So the left rib, the left hip, the left knee, the left foot, without moving, starting to turn like they're following that elbow action down toward the ground. For 3, breathe into the bottom tip of your shoulder blade. and 2, and 1. And then swing your right belly up against that left foam roller, that left internal rotation, and feel it arguing for the midline for 3 and 2 and 1. And then let your left foam roller go. And inhale, open up and let your right belly swing over towards the left. See how open you can get into that twist for 3 and 2 and 1. And then release. Let that block come down to the ground. Step into your left foot. Here you are again. Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, look halfway up. And exhale, forward fold. And just hang and breathe there for a moment. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then go ahead and roll up one vertebra at a time. Turn your feet out so that they're at a 45-degree angle. And then go ahead and bend the knees. Take a seat, one hand each side. And just draw forward with your torso and back with your pelvis a little bit. And then straighten your arms out without lifting the shoulder tops up like this, but straighten your arms out so that you're tractioning your rib cage away from your pelvis. Take an easy inhale, and as you exhale, turn your right shoulder to the left without moving your head off the midline. Inhale the center, and exhale the left shoulder forward. Inhale the center. Take that same action, but move it from your belly. Try to initiate that twist from your belly. So your right belly's twisting left here. Inhale center, left belly's twisting right. And just go side to side. See how much you can move that from your belly. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then when you're ready, just walk your blocks around to the front of your mat. Step your front foot back and find your high plank. Again, this is a lot on the neck and shoulders. If it's bothering you, please come down on one knee or both knees. Don't hurt your neck. Don't hurt your shoulders. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then go ahead and step your left foot forward. And this time you're going to block your foot. Try to get the entire ball of the foot up over the edge of the block. Push your left heel away from you as you draw your left hip back a little bit. And then inhale and hike up onto the ball of the right foot. Arch the foot. And then exhale, drop down right into the middle of the heel strike. And just take that a couple of times, swinging up on the foot, arching the foot, and exhaling, dropping down right into the middle of the heel strike. As you come up, roll through the ball of the right foot. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then stay there or step your right foot forward a little bit or a lot, depending on the length of the back line of your leg today. And then inhale, look halfway up, reach your sternum forward, forward, forward. And then exhale the outer left heel down into the mat. Let your hips shift over towards the left. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, center, and exhale, drop the inner left heel down into the mat. Let your hips shift over towards the right. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then just go side to side and stretch the calf. Feel each edge of the calf elongating. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then take all the weight into the right foot. Turn your left block. Get your left heel onto the block so that your toes are parallel. And then go ahead and walk your other block over towards the right. Reach your left hand a little further than your right hand on the block. Straighten your left leg any amount and press your hips over towards the left, breathing into the left rib cage, spreading left rib tips. For 3 and 2, and 1. Rebend your left knee, take your block back to center, right fingertips on the block, left forearm on left thigh, step your right foot back. Inhale, swing your hips forward. Find a little bit of a dog tilt. Let your shoulder blades drop down towards the rim of the pelvis, and let the back of the right knee lift up toward the ceiling. See if you can keep from losing your rib cage, but open up those upper front intercostals as you reach the base of the skull up towards the top of the head. For 3, and 2, and 1, and then swing all the way through into your cat arch. Breathe up into your kidney band. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, coming forward, dog tilt. See if you can arch the back, drop the shoulder blades down. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, cat arching. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, swing forward, dog tilt. Get your QL engaged, your shoulder blades are dropping, your right back of right knee is lifting. Longest back of the neck you can find. For 3, and 2, and 1. And keep that contraction of the shoulder blades dropping at the same time that you try to drop the front edge of the rib cage towards the pubic bone. So you've got some co-activation happening at the front and the back edge of the body. And then just hold there. Breathe into the back of your rib cage. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then drop your right knee down. Take your block down a notch and cinch your left fingers forward, forward, forward. Sink your left sitting bone way down. Take a little sitting bone circle with that left sitting bone. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then release from that. Back up. Take your right block back up. Take your left foot without moving it into internal rotation. Turn your left knee and your left hip, your left rib, your left shoulder so that you can feel the whole foam roller on the left side of your body turning towards midline. Then go ahead and take your right hand behind the base of the skull and turn your right belly to the left. So swing that belly against the left foam roller that's holding you steady. Breathe here for 3, and 2, and 1. Now swing your right elbow even further. Let your right shoulder blade turn a little bit more. Let your right belly firm up against that left foam roller even more deeply for 3, and 2, and 1. Now let your left foam roller go. Just let it relax. Take your right elbow outside the left thigh. Unfurl your left hand out behind you or dive it into your right side waist and really turn your right belly to the left. Now you've let the left side relax. Might be a little hard to keep your balance, but you're just seeing how much more deeply you can twist to the left. 3, 2, and 1. And then release. Come back up and swing your arms. See if you can twist from your belly. Just notice if you're starting to get a little bit more movement, a little bit more rotation, a little bit of feeling of freedom in the side waist. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then go ahead and take your left hand inside the arch of your left foot. Take your right block down to its lowest notch. Curl your right toes under. Lift your right knee up and sink your left sitting bone really deeply down. Just go into a little bit of a sitting bone circle for 3, and 2, and 1. And then go the other direction. 3, and 2, and 1. And then downward facing dog. Breathe and extend both sideways. 3, and 2, and 1. And then please step your right foot forward. You're going to block your foot this time, so you're trying to get the whole ball of the foot up and over the edge of the block. Push your heel into the floor at the same time as you're drawing your right hip back. And then inhale and lift up onto the ball of the left foot, arch the foot, and then exhale. The center of the heel strike drops down to the mat. Inhale, roll through the ball, the big toe mound side of the foot, and then exhale down into the middle of the heel strike. Inhale, lift, roll through the big toe mound, arch the foot. Exhale, the heel down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, drop down. And then we're going to go ahead and stay here or take a little step forward or a big step forward, depending on where the back line of your leg is today. And inhale and reach the sternum forward. And then exhale, drop the outer right heel into the mat. Let the hips shift over towards the right. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then inhale, center. And exhale, drop the inner right heel down into the mat. Let the hips shift over towards the left. Feel the medial side of the calf stretching for 3, and 2, and 1. And then just go side to side with the hips for 3, and 2, and 1. Then take all the weight into the left foot. Turn the right block. Put your right heel on it so that your toes are parallel, and then walk your other block over towards the left. Take your right hand further than your left hand on the block. Straighten your right knee any amount and press your hips over towards the right. Breathe into the right rib cage. Spread the right rib tips. 3, 2, and 1. Rebend the right knee. Take that left block back to center and your fingertips onto it. Your right forearm is on your right thigh. Step your left foot back. Inhale, swing forward, dog tilt. Drop your shoulder blades down. Lift the back of your left knee up. Exhale, cat arch. Breathe into your kidney band for 3, and 2, and 1. Inhale, dog tilt. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, cat arch. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, dog tilt. Really sink your shoulder blades down towards the back. Lift the back edge of the left knee up. Longest back of the neck you can find for 3, 2, 1. Keep that QL action on. Shoulder blades are dropping. At the same time, start to drop the bottom edge of your front rib towards the pubic bone and see if you can get a lot of activation at the front and the back of the abdomen at the same time for 3, and 2, and 1. And then just swing through and breathe in your cat arch for 3, and 2, and 1. Now the left knee is going to come down. You're going to take your left block down a notch. Cinch your right fingers forward. Really sink your right sitting bone down, 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 and take a little sitting bone circle there for 3, and 2, and 1. And go the other direction. You're not going to go very far for 3, and 2, and 1. And then go ahead and back up and take your left block up a notch, and you're going to go into internal rotation on the right side. So without picking up your foot, you're just going to make the action like we did at the beginning of class of turning your right foot in, turning your right knee in, your right hip, your right rib, your right shoulder, like the whole foam roller on the right side of your body is internally rotating. And then you're going to swing your left belly to meet that right foam roller as your left hand comes up. Take the left hand to the back of the skull and reach that left elbow to the right for 3, 2, and 1. And then drop that left elbow outside the right thigh. Keep turning the left belly to the right. Let go of that right foam roller and see if you can just turn and open up more deeply to the right. A little bit of a balance challenge there. Let your neck go. 3. You can dive your right hand into left sideways or keep it behind you. And 2. And 1. And then release. Take your right hand into the arch of the right foot. Take the left block down to the lowest setting. Turn your left toes under and then lift the back of the left knee. Sink down into your right sitting bone as deeply as you can and just take a little sitting bone circle. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then go the other direction. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then go ahead and step your right foot back, down dog, lengthen out the sides of the body, elongate as much as you can. For 3 and 2 and 1. Oh, we forgot to swing. Take your left knee back down for a moment, right foot on the block, and just swing the arms. And again, just notice if you're getting any more freedom in your sideways as you go. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, step back one more time. Elongate, center the body, down dog. 3, 2, and 1. And then just step your left foot forward. Take your blocks up a notch. And then go ahead and draw your right hip forward, your right heel back until your right quad is tight. You can squeeze your right knee. And center the middle of your sacrum right on the midline, which might cause your left hip or your whole pelvis to move over towards the right a little bit. And then go ahead and pull back on your blocks with your fingertips. Draw back. And then go ahead and rise up into your crescent lunge. We're going to take the right hand behind the left scap and the left hand behind the right scap. And just let the elbows draw back at the same time that you smooth down the corset of your low ribs. So instead of taking the elbows up and extending that bottom of rib cage, we just want to drop the bottom ribs down, but still have that feeling of the elbows drawing back. And then just go ahead and allow the shoulder blades to come down toward the rim of the pelvis. See if you can stretch open between sternum and collarbone, tilting chin up slightly. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then release the hands down to the blocks. Slightly straighten your front leg. Walk your blocks forward as far as you can get them. Push your left heel into the ground as you draw your left hip back. Pyramid pose. Long side bodies. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then walk your blocks back a little bit. Take your right foot out towards the edge of the mat. Take your left foot out towards its edge so you're more on railroad tracks than to have your heel behind your right heel behind your left heel. And then go ahead and come back up, and now you're in a warrior one stance. You're just going to try to draw your right hip forward a little bit. Try to draw the left edge of your sacrum back slightly and descend your left sitting bone. Might not go too far, that's okay. And just find that stable place and swing your arms. Move from your belly, twisting. Leading that twister through your belly. 3, 2, and 1. And take a pause. And in that pause, we're going to internally rotate this left foam roller. Internally rotate your left foot, your left knee, your left hip, your left rib, your left shoulder. Hold on to that. And at the same time, right hand's going to come behind the head, and the right belly is going to swing towards the left, and it's going to meet that foam roller. It's going to have a little tiff over the midline. 3, 2, 1. Turn that right elbow more to the left. Let your shoulder blade follow it. And then take your right hand down to the outside of the left thigh. Swing your right belly over towards the left one more time. And then release your left foam roller and extend your left hand behind you. Find out how much more deeply you can go into that twist. Reach your left shoulder blade back even more. If you feel like diving your left hand into your right side waist, okay with me. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then release. Hands down. Step your left foot back. High plank, or feel free to take your knees down or one knee down. Don't do anything that's going to irritate your shoulders and neck later in the evening. For 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, please step your right foot forward. Pull your left hip crest forward, your left heel back. Take your sacrum to the center. That might require drawing your right hip in a little bit if you tend to sit out into your right hip. Pull your fingertips towards the back mat. Oh, sorry, we were going to come up. Yeah, that's right, in crescent. And then go ahead and come up, crescent lunge. This time, left hand comes first, pats your right scap, right hand, left scap, and just keep smoothing down the low rib, relaxing it down toward the pelvis. And then go ahead and elongate from sternum to collarbone. Keep the base of the skull rising towards the top of the head as you look up a little bit. Shoulder blade is dropping down. 3. Left glute should be working. 2 and 1. And then just release. Hands are coming down to the block. Straighten your front leg any amount. Push the heel into the ground as you draw the right hip back. And then walk the blocks forward and elongate the side waist, Padottanasana. 3, 2 and 1. And then walk your blocks back towards yourself a little bit. Take your right foot out to the side. Take your left foot out to the side so that they're on railroad tracks instead of your right heel being in front of your left arch. And then go ahead and come up to standing and see if you can draw your right edge of sacrum back a little bit. See if you can get your left hip to come forward a little bit so that your pelvis is a little bit more facing the front of the mat. And then rebend the leg. And then go ahead and swing your arms, move from your belly. See how much you can get your side waist into the action here. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then take a pause. Turn on your right foam roller. So your right foot, knee, hip, rib, and shoulder are internally rotating. Left hand to back of skull. And then swing your left belly to the right. Just feel that argument over the midline between the right foam roller and that left belly swing. 3, 2, 1. Then reach your left elbow more to the right. Let your shoulder blade follow it. Let your hand go and come outside, the outside of your right thigh, and then just let go of your right foam roller. Unfurl your right arm. Turn your belly. Turn. Let it go as far as it wants to. Reach the right shoulder blade back. Take your right hand far back behind you. If you feel like diving it into your left side waist, that's okay with me. Soften neck. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then release. Come all the way down to the ground this time, please. Step your right foot back. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhaling, another chaturanga if you feel like it. Downward facing dog. Lengthen out. Breathe in your dog or come down for a child's pose, your choice. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then inhale your right foot forward. stepping in between the hands. And exhale your left heel down to the ground. Or sorry, left heel down to the ground. That's right. So we're going to come up into our warrior two position and cut the left thigh back and externally rotate your right thigh. So just notice here how your belly will tend to swing over towards the right. So we're just noticing that natural orientation here in the warrior two stance. And we're going to just counteract that a little bit by swinging the right belly over towards the left. So just draw your right belly over towards the left, soften up your neck, and then extend your hands and gaze out over your right fingertips for 3 and 2 and 1. And then just go ahead and take your right forearm down onto your right thigh. See if you can hold on to a little bit of contraction in the left sideways. So the left lowest rib and the left hip crest are kind of pulling towards each other. And then we're going to take the back of the left hand to the back of the skull is what I mean. And we're just going to draw it down towards the floor. Let your left shoulder blade draw after it and turn, internally rotate without moving your foot, your left knee, your left hip, your left rib, your left shoulder, and just see how much internal rotation you can get there while you're breathing into the bottom tip of your left shoulder blade. For 3 and 2 and 1. Now make the action of swinging your right belly to the left, coming to meet that left foam roller. Feel that little argument over the midline for 3 and 2 and 1. And then really swing your right belly to the left. Let go of your left foam roller. Just open up, draw your left elbow back. See how much uphill you can get that right belly turning to the left for 3 and 2 and 1. Draw your left hand down the left thigh. Turn your right palm up and sky that right hand. Go as long as you can in the right side body. Breathing into right rib tips. 3, 2 and 1. And now straighten out your front leg. You're going to keep that little contraction in your left side waist. You're going to keep this extension in the right side waist. Shift your hips over towards the left a little bit and start to reach long for Trikonasana. You're going to take your hand down to the block or down to your ankle, wherever you'd like to go with that. And we're going to begin with the left hand behind the back edge of the skull, and turn that left elbow down towards the floor. Let your shoulder blade follow. Left foot, left knee, left hip, left rib, left shoulder, internally rotating. Breathe into the back body. 3, 2, 1. Now swing your right belly to the left. Let it meet that left foam roller. 3, 2, 1. And then swing your right belly even more to the left and let go of your left foam roller and just open up towards the ceiling. Extend your hand up. Let your left shoulder blade step behind you and let your left hand come back even further. And just see how much you can find that right belly turning uphill, the left foam roller releasing. Base of skull is stretching towards top of head. You don't need to look up. You can just look to the side, wherever you'd like. Elongating, turning right belly to the left. 3, 2 and 1. And then you can keep your left hand up, or you could dive it into your right side waist or to get a hold of your right hip. You take your choice. Look down at the right foot and then just roll through the right ball of the foot as you step forward. Ardha Chandra. Look at the floor for a moment. Notice your left foam roller. Swing your right belly to meet it. And then let that left foam roller go and see if your right belly can turn up Swing up towards the left belly, even more. Turn up towards the ceiling more and more. See if you can get both the right belly swinging up, uphill against that left side, but let the left foam roller go so that it starts reaching towards the ceiling too. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then step back very quietly, like you're trying to step into a pile of leaves without making any noise. And then parallel your feet and forward fold. Let your head go. Take a couple of deep breaths there. For 3, 2, and 1. And then go ahead and roll up to standing. Turn your left foot out. Turn your right foot in. Cut your right thigh towards the back skin. Externally rotate that left quad. Just notice how your belly will be naturally shifting over towards the left. And just see if you can counteract that by pulling your left belly skin toward the right. Just pull that belly skin over. Try not to lose your knee when you do that. And then extend your arms out. Turn your gaze over your left fingertips. For 3 and 2 and 1. Now we're going to take the left forearm down onto the left thigh. Right hand behind the edge of the skull. Turn that right elbow down towards the floor and let that right shoulder blade follow after it. And then just get your whole right foam roller on. So your right foot, your right knee, your right hip, your right rib are all turning internally. Just notice that in the body as you breathe into the back, the bottom tip of the right shoulder blade expanding on the inhale. 3, 2, 1. Now swing your left belly to meet that right foam roller. Just notice it tugging at the midline there. Soften your neck. It's not about your neck. 3, 2, 1. And then inhale. Let go of that right foam roller. Swing your left belly up, 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 up. Just notice that turn. Left belly swinging to right. Right elbow drawing back. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then right hand's coming down the right thigh. Left palm is going to rise up. We're reversing that warrior 2. Breathe and lengthen left side body. Contract right side body, right hip, right lowest rib coming to meet each other. 3, 2 and 1. Now straighten your left leg. Bump your right hip over towards the right a little bit. Don't let go of this side waist. Don't start contracting this side waist. Keep that action on both sides of the body going. As you reach and extend that left hand over and take your left hand to a block or to the ankle, wherever you'd like to go. Now we're going to begin with the hand behind the head. Turn the right elbow down and the right shoulder blade is going to follow. Turn on your right foam roller. Right foot, right knee, right hip, right rib, turning down towards the floor in internal rotation. 3, 2 and 1. Now swing your left belly to meet that right foam roller and feel that tug of war at the midline. 3, 2 1. On your next inhalation, really swing that left belly right and let go of your right foam roller and just take that right elbow further back. Just notice how far you can go. Getting that left belly to go uphill to the right. You can release your right arm up to the sky, step your right shoulder blade back, take your right hand back some more if you'd like. Don't look up if it hurts your neck. You can always look to the side, reaching base of skull towards top of head. 3, 2 and 1. Keep your hand up or dive it behind you into your left side waist or drop it onto the top of your left thigh. And then just turn and look at your left foot. You're going to roll through the ball of that left foot as you step forward. Ardha Chandra. And just notice your right foam roller is going to be internally rotated already. So just swing your left belly up to meet it. Just notice that point where there's a tug of war, and then let your right foam roller go and see if you can turn your left belly further up towards the ceiling. It's going to go more uphill as your right foam roller starts to externally rotate. Really beautiful postures. Nice work. 3, 2, and 1. And then come down super slowly and super quietly, like you're trying to step into a pile of leaves without making any noise. And then just walk your hands around to the side and fold in your Prasarita Padottanasana, head on a block, and breathe. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then bend your knees and just come down onto all fours, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, lift the tail, sink the belly, lift up the base of the skull, dog tilt. Exhale, cat arch. Inhale, dog tilt. Exhale, cat arch. Inhale, dog tilt. Exhale, cat arch. Inhale, dog tilt. Exhale, cat arch. All right, we're going to take a very little inversion. So just take your legs up the wall. Unless you really want to do a shirsha, then you can. But otherwise, just get upside down for a moment. Let the blood drain back down your leg to the pelvis. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then just roll over on your right side. Press your left palm into the mat. Come up to seated and just find your alpha ball. So we're going to roll across the bottom 2 ribs. We've been starting up in this series a little higher. So find the bottom tip of your shoulder blade, the bottom of your rib cage, where we were always starting before, and go in between those 2 points. So you're on the lowest 2 back ribs on the right side. And you're just going to come down, cup your head in your hands, and go very gently side to side between those 2 ribs, right beneath the bottom tip of your right shoulder blade. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then take your elbows down to the ground. Roll the ball down. That's between the bottom 2 most ribs, and just roll side to side. If you need more pressure, you can take your hands back up behind your head. 3, 2, and 1. Now roll down below your rib cage. Take the whole upper body down on the mat. Bend the knees, place the feet on the floor, lift the hips, and then go side to side. You're right beneath the bottom rib, and just erasing the back. 3, 2, and 1, and then roll down another inch so you're not touching, if you can get it, if you're not touching the rib cage or the top rim of the pelvis, just go side to side. Three, 2, and 1, and then roll the ball down again so you're just like a ball on a track at the top edge of the pelvis, rolling side to side. For 3, and 2, and 1, and then just roll down into your right glute. If you want, you can lift your right knee. You can make a circle. You could lift your left heel off the ground. Feel free to draw your knees together and make one circle. For 3, and 2, and 1, and then straighten out your right leg. Turn your navel 45 degrees to the right. Feel free to stay down there or to come up on your right forearm. Bury the outside edge of your right foot into the mat and then bend and straighten your right knee. For 3, and 2, and 1, and then turn your navel again so you're facing the side wall, and just make a little donut shape around your greater trochanter, the widest part of your hip, that bumpy knob. So you can just trace a circle around it with the ball, releasing all the ligaments in the leg that hang on that greater trochanter. 3, 2, and 1. Now step your left foot in front of your right thigh. Turn your navel 45 degrees down towards the floor again. And just roll around as if that ball was in your right jeans pocket. It's on TFL right at the top of your IT band. Just looking for a little owie bit there. For 3, and 2, and 1. Now roll that ball into your sideways so it's just above the right hip crest and below the right lowest rib. Inhale towards the ball and exhale, sink down. Inhale, puff up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, puff up. Exhale, sink down. And just stay as low as you can on the ball and take some pelvic tilts. See if you can let that ball wind its way into the visceral cavity. For 3, and 2, and 1. Now step your left foot behind your right leg and then just turn your navel 45 degrees back up towards the ceiling so that the ball is right on the back of the waist or on the side of the back. And just take a little side to side motion so that you're catching the edge where the edge of the QL meets the obliques. can find a little place that we worked into the twist. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then go ahead and release off there. Just lie flat on your back for a moment and notice any difference between the right side and the left that you created with that little roll. And then we're going to go ahead and switch to the other side. So you're going to take that ball right up underneath the bottom tip of the left shoulder blade, but above the bottom of the rib cage. And we're going to go right between those low ribs. You're holding your head in your hands and you're just going side to side. Go gingerly. Catching these intercostals here. 3, 2, 1. Then take your elbows down to the mat and draw the ball down between the lowest 2 ribs. Just go side to side. If you can't feel this, you want to take your arms back up, that's okay. But if the back edge of your respiratory diaphragm is probably pretty tight, so you might want to keep your elbows down. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then draw that ball down below the bottom edge of the rib cage and just go ahead and set the upper body down. Lift the pelvis and go side to side. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then go ahead and draw that ball down another inch. And now if you can get it, it's not touching the bottom edge of the rib cage or the top of the pelvis, but just going right through the belly of the QL. Some people don't have enough room in their waist to do that, but if you do, see if you can stay away from either of those bony landmarks. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then roll that ball down so it's just like a ball on a track on the top rim of the pelvis. For 3 and 2 and 1. Take your time, but when you're ready, roll that ball into the glute. And then you can lift your left knee in the air. You can make a circle. You could pick up your right heel. You could pick up your left heel. You could take both knees in a circle. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then straighten your left leg out. Turn your navel 45 degrees to the left. Feel free to stay down there or come up on your left forearm. Either way, bury the outer edge of your left foot into the mat. Bend and straighten your left leg. Just roll out those external fibers of your glute med. We were rotating the whole edge of the body so much, so this point might be pretty sore from that. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then turn your navel 45 degrees more so that you're facing the sidewall. And go ahead and roll out in a donut shape all around that greater trochanter. Just find that bony knob on the outside of your hip and make a circle around it. 3, 2, 1. Then step your right foot in front of your left thigh. Turn your navel 45 degrees down towards the floor. And just roll around TFL right at the top of your IT band, like that ball is inside your left jeans pocket. You're just looking for a little owie bit there. And we were internally rotating that hip a lot, so it'd be pretty sore. 3, and 2, and 1. And then just roll that ball right into your side waist so it's above the left hip crest and below the left rib cage. And inhale towards the ball, and then exhale, sink down onto it. Inhale, puff up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, puff up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, puff up. Exhale, sink down. Just keep the body as low onto the ball as you can get it and take some pelvic tilts. Just trying to encourage the ball to wend its way into the visceral cavity. Freeing up the guardrails of the side waist. 3, 2, and 1. And then just take the right foot onto the ground behind you. Turn your navel 45 degrees up toward the ceiling. And then just go side to side into the side of the back or the back of the side where the QL and the obliques dock away from each other. See if you can find a little owie bit there that we were twisting into. Notice the difference between the two sides. Which side is more clunky? Which side is more fluid? For 3, and 2, and 1. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and roll off. Lie flat on your back and notice how the body's doing. Did the left side catch up with the right side? If you need to do it rolling in any other area, go ahead. Otherwise, just find a Shava pose and take a couple of breaths there in your last posture. Rolling over on the right side into the fetal position, taking a moment of gratitude for the miracle of your body, for your strong legs and your strong arms, for the good gift of eyes that see and ears that hear. Such amazing blessings. And then grounding your left palm into the mat, come gently up to seated, allowing your head to hang until the very end. Just taking a moment in your seated position to notice any effects of the practice on the body. And then inhaling the hands up over the head, letting the palms touch and coming to the forehead for generous thoughts and to the lips for kind speech.